Hello, and welcome to week 4 of Summer Faith and Fun at St. Boniface Parish. Our saint this week is St. Kateri Tekakwitha. Tekakwitha was born in what is now New York State, around the middle of the 1600s. Her father was an important man in the Mohawk tribe, which was a very powerful and important tribe in the area. Her mother was from a different tribe. She was a Christian, and she taught Tekakwitha to pray, starting when Tekakwitha was very little. When Tekakwitha was still a little girl, she and her family caught a terrible disease called smallpox. Her parents both died from the smallpox. Tekakwitha survived, but she had scars all over her, and she couldn't see very well for the rest of her life. She was almost blind. She was adopted by her uncle and his family, and they took care of her as she grew up. When Tekakwitha was a teenager, Christian missionaries came to her town and started telling the people about Jesus Christ. Tekakwitha loved to hear the missionaries. She still remembered some of what her mother had taught her about prayer and about Jesus, and she recognized that these men were teaching the same thing. Tekakwitha was baptized a Catholic when she was about 19. She took the name Catherine, or in her language, Kateri. That's why today she's called Kateri Tekakwitha, because that's the name she took when she was baptized. Becoming a Christian meant a lot of suffering for Kateri. Her family hated the missionaries, not so much because they were Christian, but because they were from France, and the Mohawk had just been in a big war with the French, where their tribe had suffered a lot, and the French took an awful lot from them to end the war. So the missionaries were a constant reminder to Kateri's family of how much they had lost in the war. And so all of the Christian Indians and the missionaries were seen as a threat to Kateri's family. So when Kateri became Catholic, it was very hard for her. She was mocked and isolated from her family. Because she wouldn't work in the fields on Sundays, she wasn't given any food to eat on those days. Kateri's family wanted her to get married, but she refused. She said, "I have deliberated enough. For a long time my decision on what I will do has been made. I have consecrated myself entirely to Jesus, Son of Mary. I have chosen him for husband, and he alone will take me for wife." Kateri wanted to give all of her love and attention to Jesus. This was also very hard for her family to understand, and caused her a lot of problems in her hometown. One of the priests in Kateri's village arranged for her to leave her hometown in secret and travel with a few other converts by foot and canoe more than 200 miles to a village of Christian Iroquois near Montreal, which is in Canada. That was a very hard journey for Kateri, who was almost blind, remember? And there weren't any cars, planes, or any other easy way. It was all on foot and by canoe. What a difficult journey that must have been. But Kateri trusted in the Lord, and she was very used to difficulties in life. Kateri always offered all of her difficulties and sufferings to Jesus. Kateri lived in the Christian village for just about 4 years. This is a portrait drawn of her when she was alive, so you can see we know pretty well just exactly what she looked like. Kateri was very happy in her new home, because she could talk to her friends about Jesus Christ and following him whenever she wanted to, all day. But she became ill often. Just like in her hometown and on her journey, Kateri offered all of her difficulties and sufferings and her illnesses to Jesus. Kateri died in the winter of 1680, only about 24 years old. Her last words were, "Jesus, Mary, I love you." Many witnesses say that right after she died, all the smallpox scars that she had on her face and all over her body disappeared, and she looked beautiful and at peace. Kateri was seen by many people right after she died, giving them consolation that she was on her way to heaven. She showed people that anyone can be a good Christian, no matter what culture or people they come from. Kateri also shows us how to offer our difficulties and sufferings in life to the Lord, and how to love Him more than anything else. She also shows us how beautiful the life of a consecrated man or woman can be. Kateri Tekakwitha, Lily of the Mohawks, pray for us.